Hey guys, Gilbert Gyamfi here with the Toben Series Podcast. I'm excited to get it going.
That's our cue. This meeting is now being recorded. And today is a beautiful day to be able to talk basketball. Today is a beautiful day to be able to play basketball. And if you're not outside playing basketball, this is a beautiful, beautiful day to go do that. I know Sai has a tournament this weekend. He has the Pink City Who Wants the Smoke tournament going on. And Devo, I know you're playing in it. Talk to us about it. What are you feeling for the weekend? You feeling good?
I feel a dub. That's it. Keeping it simple. Keeping it simple.
Anybody placing bets? You placing bets, Devo?
We should place bets. That's pretty smart, but I haven't. I just feel dubs. That's it.
Feeling dubs. Say no more. Say no more. But we actually have another winner in the building today. We have somebody who won the first ever Toben one-on-one championship. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a second. But we have Gilbert Gyamfi. I got your name right, correct?
Yeah, Gilbert Gyamfi. Got it. You got it.
Welcome to the show, Gilbert. How are you doing, man?
Doing all right, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, thanks for jumping on the show, taking some time to talk to us, man. We usually start the game off with a game, but today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to just talk right to it and give you a game throughout the show. I want to ask you, though, last year started a tragic trend with Kobe passing away. When Kobe passed, where were you and what were your thoughts?
When Kobe passed, when Kobe passed, Kobe is the reason. Like, I have his jersey right there. I could take it down. He's the reason why I started playing, fam. So when he went down, I was like, this can't be real life. Because I remember I was playing at LA Fitness one time, and I was getting ready to go to training camp to a team or whatnot. And when I heard it, I'm like, no, there's no way. I'll go home, and then it's all over the news. And it was just something that got me so distraught because I don't remember anything though went before playing basketball. I just remember Kobe Bryant, and then I just fell in love with it. So when he was gone, it was like the whole world shut down. Like, you understand? Like, the whole world was like had to mourn for this guy because he was just he made mistakes and whatnot. Like, everyone has. I'm not gonna be judgmental because everyone goes through things. Right, and he made mistakes, and some people felt weird about it just because of what happened in the past and whatnot. But as a player, as a person, I watched him from when he was a Laker all the way until the end, and I saw him grow as a person, become better, I try to be better for his children and his family and whatnot. And just to see him go out and he was even starting to do more stuff in women's basketball as well. That was a movement, right? And so he was really influential in helping basketball grow, especially on the female side as well, because he had 3 daughters and he was just doing a lot. And that's something I didn't really expect him to do since early in his career, right? He was just different. So I saw the growth in him. I just he's a good role model, and for years to come, I thought he's still going to be impacting the NBA and the WNBA in a positive direction. So when he was gone, I'm just like, it was an icon that obviously cannot be replaced. So,
we're gonna get back to Kobe in a little bit. Obviously we're talking about Kobe throughout the show today, but I want to ask you though. Or not ask you. I want to touch on something you said. You said that Kobe passing away was literally the start of everything. It literally started this whole pandemic, and it was the start of a tragic year. As we all know, being in a pandemic caused a lot of tragic times for everybody, including depression, including anxiety, including whatever negative feelings people might have. How have you been able to overcome adversity and all those negative feelings?
It's tough because when your freedom's just taken away from you like that, not necessarily freedom, but it's for safety precautions, right? You have to really find yourself. Like, for a lot of basketball players, when you it's a good and a bad thing, because when you're a basketball player, it's like that takes up majority of your life. Like, you are going to practice, you are making sure you're staying in shape. You got to make sure that you're going. You got to make sure you know where your next contract coming from. And when all that stuff stops, it's like now you have to be a human being. Like, you understand? You have to actually, like, I'm telling my brother's about to had the same dilemma. I'm like, focus on yourself. You gotta get like your driver's license. Like, you don't have no driver's license. Like, he wasn't even focused on getting the phone. He just focused on going to the gym, and that's all, right? And this thing, the necessities that you need to be an adult and be a human being when stuff is this when you're only working on one side of you like that, it's scary because what if the pandemic happened for the next 5 years and basketball was not an option? What are you gonna do when you invested like almost your whole life in this thing, right? And that's when a lot of people are trying. You got to become multi-dimensional. You got to look into other things. You got to be able to whatever it is. This to make yourself occupy yourself and better yourself and make sure you're financially stable, right? Because a lot of people rely on basketball to pay the bills and whatnot, and that's your career. And it's not a career that's like it's not really transferable. You likely can't be a professional basketball player and then you could go work at IKEA. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you need like it's not something that you need. It's a skill, but it's not a skill that it could go across all platforms. Like, yeah, the team aspect is good, but the skills, the tangibles, the stuff that you would need to do something else that will pay the bills is hard for you to transfer basketball into something else. So for me, I just feel like when that stuff happened, I just needed to really focus on what if basketball is not an option for me, what am I going to be? What am I going to do? Right? And people don't really think about that because people don't really because basketball was never something that you think that would be taken away from you like that. Like, no, you never think basketball is actually going to just shut down. Like, when's the last time something like this happened? So everyone's betting on, especially the athletes, not just basketball, but athletes in general. Everyone's betting on like they'll be able to do this for, as long as they can, right? And it's unfortunate because when this stuff happened, I mean, a lot of opportunities were taken away, and and obviously I think I was a part of that, but it's also a growing process as well. So it made me realize that you need to have something that you're really passionate about besides in between the lines.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you talked about being passionate about something because it seems like you were able to pick up on something new during the pandemic. You became a model, if I'm not mistaken. What's up with that?
Oh God! So I don't know how seriously people want to take that, but yeah, I went into modeling. Modeling was something that I was passionate about at first. Um, I was offered a couple contracts before when I was younger, but I didn't really look into it because again, I was like, I'm a baller. I thought that was for pretty boys, whatever the case was. Like, I felt like that's for not my type. That wasn't my forte. And I started to get into it more, and then people started really recommending me to get into it. I mean, maybe I could be a sports model or something along those lines, do a couple commercials here and there. And then that would lead into another. Then I started to do a little bit of acting here and this and that. So it's something that I really didn't think I'll be able to do, but it, I think it's something that comes naturally to me, especially the acting. And it's something that is a fun, and you get to meet new people, and it's just a different dynamic of people. Like, when you go to when you hang out with athletes all the time, you understand like what their mindset is, okay, what their interests are and whatnot. So you're around the same people a lot. Like, before that, like, I was always around athletes, and I was looking at the world at one view, one perspective. But when I go to the creative side of things, it's like it's a whole different world, and it's so interesting. And these people are just something that opens your eyes up, opens your mind. You understand, just to talk to different people and know what's going on in there. And yeah, I'm just really glad I got into it. Get into that. I didn't know I like pictures and posing that much, but that's something I learned about myself. And that obviously that did benefit me financially, and I'm pretty sure it will continue in the future. But again, if this dynamic didn't happen, I wouldn't have known that, right? And it's good, and that's the positive things about this pandemic is that you get to really find yourself. You got to really find yourself. You got to get in tune with who you are as a person. And so yeah, you have to take the good and the bad with it. And I'm glad that I know I could be more than just a basketball, I'm more than just an athlete, I would say.
He seemed like he's very loyal to the game, and he's also very loyal to Kobe Bryant. You know, he mentioned earlier today that Kobe was a big impact in his life, and you know, so I gotta know. Kobe's obviously. I'm gonna assume that you have Kobe number one as the GOAT of all time. But who is your top three, and in what order of all time in the NBA?
You know, I have this discussion with my brother like on a daily basis when we get heated about this thing here. So if he sees this, he might have a couple things to say. But with that being said, obviously I'm gonna have to go with LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe, right? That's for me. Okay.
1, 2, 3. LeBron is one. Jordan is two. Kobe is three.
No, not 1, 2, 3. This is my top three.
You can't put them in order.
This is my top three, right? I didn't put it in order.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put okay. Just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna put it in order for you guys. So I base it off how someone impacts the game. Okay, I mean I understand winning is a big part of it, but I think that also an argument simply because of the situation and what's going on during that time.
Okay, so LeBron is one.
Of course, in my opinion. LeBron is one.
He impacted the game the most, Stephen. Continue.
Jordan is three, and then Kobe is three. And I love Kobe's the reason I'm not even being by Kobe's the reason why I started playing basketball. But once I seen a man get drafted in 2003 and the way he just came in and just took everything over, there's no way that you can't look at that man and say he's not the best player. I mean, maybe he's not the best winner, I would say, because he had his moments, but the best player, top three in points, top 10 in assists, been dominated the league for almost a decade, like from 20 whatever to now. Like, how could you not say that he's not the best? What's the argument? What would be he's been the finals MVP every single time, okay, and he's done the most with the least. Argue with me about that.
I'm not going to argue with you about this. This show got to continue going because I could talk about this for hours. We could talk about this for days, but honestly, this can make for a good live conversation, and we might be able to have one of those, bring you on as a guest for one of our live episodes. Seeing Michael Jordan on stage with Vanessa to induct Kobe into the Hall of Fame, what do you think that showed the world?
It showed the world that, you know, obviously Kobe was someone who deserved to be there, and that was already set in stone. But also the impact that obviously Kobe Bryant had on the world of basketball. He was very influential. Like I said before, like he is the reason why I started playing. So to see him up there and see Vanessa induct him into there is just like something that it was beautiful, but at the same time it was surreal because you were expecting Kobe to be there, right? Mm-hmm. And he wasn't. You know. Yeah, it was emotional. It was a good inside time, and obviously to see Jordan do it up there as well. This is just to show how great he actually was. Like we're talking about the basketball pyramid here. We're talking about the best of, like, you know how many basketball players are in the world? Millions, right? And Jordan's up there accompanying Kobe and his wife. It's just like it's a moment for basketball, you know. Mm-hmm. A moment for basketball. There's something obviously you tell your kids and whatnot, and it's just it's monumental.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no doubt. But let's switch it up here and talk about Toben, of course. You know, this being a Toben series, we got to ask you, you know, what does Toben basketball mean to you?
Toben basketball is literally like a stepping stone. Like, for someone to just literally randomly message me and be like, I see potential in you. I see that you are a player. I see that you are good. Not knowing anything about me, and just trying to help me further my basketball career is like, it's like you don't see that every day, you know. Especially like to do the things that he does in terms of sponsorships and helping people out, and even the training with Vlad, like that he just wants to see people grow, and he wants to people see people get to where they want to go. And honestly, Tobin, he's a blessing. Like you don't see people like that every day.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? He doesn't ask for anything. He just says, "Yo, you want to play basketball? You want to get somewhere. I see that you're serious about it. Let me help you." First time I remember 2016, I was at Hershey Center, and I came to play, and there was a pro-am there or something like that, and I did okay, and I that was something I was actually looking for a contract at the time, and I didn't know what I was gonna do, right? And he comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, I see potential in you. I see that you're a good player. Just come on, and whatever you need to, financially or even when it comes to development, here, take my number, and I don't need anything from you. Let's just get it rolling." And I'm like, "What the heck?" Like,
You don't get that every day. Mm-hmm.
You don't get that every day. I'm like, what? Like, I thought it was a scam because it was a Facebook message, and I was like, what the hell? He's gonna ask for my social insurance number or something? Like, what the hell? But yeah, he just came out of nowhere, and he really helped me out. And I got to meet a lot of new guys, like obviously like you and Din and Smiles and all these guys that come to Toben on a regular basis, and Vlad as well. And it was just a new community because I'm from Brampton, so you guys, like, I'm coming from way west, and I'm not knowing anybody, and people don't really help people out like that. Like, well, I'm from a more suburb area, and I just go to the YMCA, I work out with my brothers, and that's it. I was trying to send a couple emails, and then he just showed me to a new world, and then I got new opportunities. I got to meet a lot of people, and it was good, and I grew a lot. So I really thank obviously the Toben organization for letting me in here.
No, that's good because obviously you had some great success. You won the first and only Toben basketball one-on-one tournament. How was that like for yourself?
It was good. Like I really got to play against some pros and some good competition, and it was fun. I had a feeling I was gonna win just simply because there's a couple people that weren't there, but I even surprised myself. I even surprised myself because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think when I went up against Din, I was like, this might be a tough one. You know. And then I didn't know I didn't want to lose because my girl was on the sideline at the time, and that would have been tough still. So
we know how that go.
Yeah, exactly. So I was there, and it was a grind, and yeah, I was excited. It was a fun time, man. It was a fun time. Should do it. I'm waiting for him to do it again. I mean, I got to defend the title, so I mean, it's only right. But
it is only right now. You sound like we're doing wrestling now. But hold on a second. So let's push you through a scenario. You're wearing a Toben jersey for a tournament, but it's you plus 4 other teammates on the court. Which 4 other guys are you rocking with?
Oh,
you got a lot of options here.
Yo. Oh gosh, Toben, all right, bro.
No pressure. Who's the other 4? Who's the other 4?
There's no pressure. All right, okay.
No pressure for us.
First, I'm gonna go when it comes to Toben.
First of all, sorry. What position are you playing? I'm curious to know where are you putting yourself?
I think I'd probably be most effective at the 2.
Okay.
For me,
so you're the 2 guy.
I mean, I know my jump shots are a bit shaky right now. I mean, Gyamfi saw me play yesterday, and or a couple. It was kind of shaky, but you know, I'm a shooter, you know. So once my jump shot's right, I'm putting myself at the 2.
Right.
I have to take Din, like, because Din, like, I see that man go out for 30 by himself in one half. When it came to Toben basketball, so I have to take him at the 1, even though he doesn't like to pass too much, but we'll let him have that. 3, ooh. I want to take Dev, but
I'm not in this. Don't put me in this.
You're not allowed. You're not.
You can, but don't feel pressure. Like
I'm not feeling pressure.
For the sake of the
Trust me, I'm being completely honest when I say these things here, right? And just don't. I'm not feeling bad if I don't put you in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you for real.
So you got Dev at the 3? You locking in with that?
Yeah, I lock in Dev at the 3.
All right.
Devi has the mid-range, the midi game, and he's a good defender. So I put him there. Maybe he needs to pass a little bit, but
That's the ball.
I put him there, and
that's the second person, by the way, that slander your passing, bro. The second person on this podcast that's slander your passing.
But Dev has a great ISO game. Great ISO game. So if we need a bucket, we could definitely look at him as an option as well. And then so that's I think we have 3. We have 3 solid buckets over there. I mean, I'm a little bit more versatile. I'll be more passive. So if you guys want to do your thing, I'll be able to pass around and do whatnot. And lastly, I'd probably go with
You still got 2 more. You got 4 and a 5.
Oh, I got 2 more. So okay, it's a blessed. And I'm definitely going with Little Durant.
JP.
Yeah, I'll go with him. It'll be interchangeable, 3 or 4 between you two, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then the 5. We don't have many 5s though. I don't remember. I'll go. Oh yeah, I'll go with Siakam. Definitely Siakam. The post move, his post. I don't know what he is now. I mean, he's married and doing all this thing, but
his position is married now.
Yeah. Siakam's married, no?
Yeah, no. I'm saying his position in basketball is married. He has a different one.
Yeah, definitely is a different. Yeah, it's different, but I'll definitely go Siakam at the 5. So I think defensively we will be good. Athletically we will be good. We wouldn't struggle to score as well. I think that's a winning tournament. That's a winning team right there. Like, we're definitely winning. Right
now, so. I'm pretty sure there's many, but can you recall any funny moments of while playing with Toben? If so, let's hear one.
Honestly, I don't think there's one that I could recall, but there's always one person who's involved in it. You know who it is, fam.
I don't want to say it before you say it. It'd be funny if we say the 2 different people, so I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Okay, well, I would say this, like, there's probably 5 people that are like, they literally make me laugh continuously, like, throughout the whole day I'm with them. And for Toben, he even makes Tony laugh, fam. And Tony doesn't laugh. Tony laughs, like, it gives you a little smirk, and that's it. Like, it's Din, fam. Din is the funniest guy I ever met in my life, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why, but there's so many moments where I'm just like, yo, if I'm around this guy, I know this guy is going to give me a laugh. And even when we're either if we're at the game or we're playing or we're going with Vlad, I'm just laughing the whole time, man. He's a good guy. And yeah, I can't really recall a funny moment because usually we're playing basketball, we're trying to be really serious and whatnot. But yeah, I probably did. Maybe I think there's one time I could recall Dim came late to a game, and he's like, yo, B, I'm about to drop 30 on all these guys. Watch.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yo, like, really?
That's pretty good.
And you see his voice? I'm about to drop 30 on these guys. Watch this. Watch me get my bag. Man gets his bag, puts on his shoes, like, yo, okay, swing the rock now. He's like, whatever. The man's playing zone, cash. I said, okay, whatever. And I was frustrated that game. You know, I was having the best game or whatnot, and I was having the best game. So he came in and he hit a three, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Hit one. He like, and we're going around. It's like, yo, you didn't see me hit the last one. Send the rock. I said, okay, swing around, bang, hit another one. I'm like, yo, you got to be kidding me. And then Tony's laughing or whatever. I'm like, he's like, okay. And the man's like pulling up his shorts during the game. Like his shorts not even tied up yet. So then he goes on to hit like 9 in the second half. When he end up winning, I'm just like, yo, you're actually a clown. He's like, yo, you think I do this for fun? Like, this is what I do. Then I have to go now. I'm like, yo, this guy is a clown, bro. This guy, and ever since that day, this man's like, yo, you remember what I did when you guys were struggling and I came late to Hoop Dome? I'm just like, all right, bro, whatever. You got it that day, whatever. And yeah, that's just something we look back on, and it was just really funny. So that's probably my Toben moment when Jill dropped 30 in one half and he was talking smack the whole time.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That was actually a very good impersonation. That was really good, especially because his episode just came out the other day. I listened to the episode again. Now it's fresh in my head. Yo, that was very, very, very good impression, bro.
Yeah,
very good. But I want to move on to your university career. You know, talk about your university career right now. I want to know why. We want to know why. Our viewers want to know why you signed with Southwest Baptist University.
Yeah. So I signed with Southwest. First of all, yeah. So Southwest was that wasn't really my intention to go, but simply because of my grades and obviously being like 19, 20, I was a bit immature at the time. I was chasing other things, wasn't focusing on other things. So going D2 was my best option there. And I started off really well, right? I had a couple 20-point games in the beginning of the season. And we got a couple wins here and there, and so we started off strong, and then things started to collapse when we got a couple losses, and people were getting really in the argument zone, and clashing and all these stuff in practice, and I also started to clash with the coach's son, and obviously that didn't work.
Those be the ones.
So those were the ones. Yeah, I was in and out of the lineup, and one of those things where I would do good one game, and then the next game I'll be on the bench and just going in and out. So it was a good experience. It was a good experience, I would say overall. It was an eye opener because it means that even if I don't want to be biased, I don't want to project anything as if I'm a perfect person or a perfect player, but I feel as if I gave it my all, and I don't think I was really recognized or appreciated for that. Yeah, the school was great, the organization was great, but if we just didn't see eye to eye on things. So after that, I do just want to harp on SBU. You just want me to go through the whole career there. Like, what do you guys?
Just why you chose Southwest Baptist. Just why you chose it.
Okay, so Southwest Baptist, I had a couple D2 offers after I knew I wasn't going D1, and Southwest Baptist, I was going to go to another team in the conference. I forgot the name, and I was planning to go to there, and my coach told me, like, if you really want to have a pro career or even try to go to NBA or whatever the case was at the time, to look into Southwest Baptist University. It's a good school. It's a good Christian school. It should keep you out of trouble, you know what I'm saying, and keep you focused on the right path. Because my coach knew what type of player and what type of person I was, and I could get really distracted, okay, when it came to partying or whatever girls the case it was at the time. So he thought that that would be the best route for me. And on top of that, it was a good basketball program, and he apparently had a good relationship with the coach. So it just seemed well, and I knew that my coach wanted the best for me. So he knew what type of school I needed to be at. So again, Southwest Baptist was the reason why we sat down, we talked about it, and that was mainly the reason why I went to Southwest Baptist University.
You're actually the first person on our show that went to a Baptist type school or a school like this, and if I'm not mistaken, am I correct with that, Devontae?
Say that again.
This is the first person that we've had on the show that went to a Catholic school or a Christian school or I think this is the first person that we've had on the show.
Probably, yeah. From what I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a rundown of a normal day or a regular day at Southwest Baptist. Whether it's Bible study in the morning, whether it's practice. What was your experience like over there in a normal day for you, like at Southwest Baptist or Southwest Baptist?
So Southwest Baptist, I wake up. It's breakfast is mandatory because we need to get ready for we need to get the right proper calories and right energy in the body. So we practice obviously every day, worked out almost 3 times a week. We wake up, go to breakfast. We have our classes and throughout the day I think there's 3 chapel sessions or something like that, and we have to make a requirement of I think 3 or 4 chapel sessions a week, right? So make sure we have to go there and so we're going to chapel or whatnot because obviously it's Christian school. Okay, so I usually go to chapel around 12. After that, I do have a couple classes to go to, and then I gotta make sure my GPA is above 2.7, and if not, I had to go to a study hall and make up the extra hours and obviously get my grades up. So that was an issue for me. Also, I think almost every day we ended up the coach's house. We had a Bible study there, and we talked about God and worship and whatnot. So, it was really Christian based there, and really got in tune to it when it came to God and your beliefs and how to be a better person, not just be a better player. And we tried to intertwine that with obviously basketball and the unselfish aspect of things. So there was a lot of Christian and God talk when it came to Southwest Baptist, which I obviously wasn't used to. I mean, well, I was already at a JUCO previously for 2 years, and that was not a requirement. So it did teach me some discipline and obviously made me become a better person, regardless if I believed in God or not. I still became a better person during that time, and yeah, so it's just a lot of discipline, a lot of Bible study, and a lot of chapel that took a lot of my day as well. And obviously, I did have to we had to take Bible class. I think I 1 or 2 Bible classes as well, simply because it was a Christian school. So yeah, that's pretty much was my day. Nothing really different in terms of you're a non-Christian school. You have your practice. You have your individual sessions. You have your film sessions where you watch the tapes back and see where you went wrong, and obviously scouting as well, and then and also your individual skill sessions as well with either with an assistant coach or on your own, and obviously then you have to get your shots up as well. You gotta mark it down the board how many shots you shot this week or whatever per day or however you want to calculate that. So yeah, it's like definitely a full-time it's like a full-time job because you like at my time I was preparing to I want to go to the pros, right, regardless if it was NBA or overseas or whatnot. You got to be able to have a routine and know that routine, a certain routine or whatever routine that works for you will help you be successful in the future. So I was just mentally conditioning myself to get there.
Mm-hmm. That's completely fair. Honestly, Gilly, we're gonna get your mind moving a little bit more right now. Mm-hmm. Devo, the game that we usually play in the beginning of the show, we moved it now to the middle of the show. What you got for us today, man?
Are you referring to overrated, underrated?
I'm referring to any game that you want to give Gilly today, man.
Oh, overrated, underrated sounds fun. What's going on here?
Is that what you know what? Fine. But what we are gonna do actually is we're gonna switch it up. I'm gonna ask you this a little bit earlier. Thank you, Steven, for giving me the keys to that. Let's get through this last little segment, and then I'm gonna ask you a game that we call in a perfect world. I want to finish this segment off so our viewers, for the sake of our viewers, we don't go back and forth. Now you transfer, Stephen. Stop me if needed. But you transfer to John Brown University, which is a D1 NIA school. Now I want to know the biggest difference between the D2 and going to the NIA, because there is one or there is a couple. Give us the biggest difference.
So the biggest difference was, I would say, I think after the competition dropped. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, it wasn't
Yeah,
like in our conference. I would say that the top four NAIA schools could maybe bang with maybe a D2 or something like that, and after that, there was a drop off. Right, there was a
hmm
big drop off in terms of I think in terms of talent and skill level. And so, because a lot of NAIA school essentially is for players that necessarily, transfer with 1 year left, and it's hard for them to get into one, make a D1 or D2, which I did have at the time. Well,
yeah,
D2, but I wasn't, my mind was in the right spot, and I just felt like, really demoralized that I wasn't able to finish out my year there. So I just picked up whatever school there was, and there's an NAI, and there's nothing wrong with that. Well, because I did have a good experience after that, like, you understand what I'm saying. So it was good for me. I liked
yeah.
it, and again, it's another Christian school as well. Okay, but I feel like the coach really understood me. Understood where I was coming from as a player, and I had some success there. Okay, in terms we won 22 games or whatever, and we had some success there, and it's basically the same thing in Christian school, but when I tell you the biggest difference, I never knew. Like, he is looking back at it now, he's probably one of the best coaches I ever played for in terms of getting his players ready for the game. When I played in the game, I I was not tired after the game. It was practice that we dread. There were times where I went to the hospital because I was dehydrated. You understand? Like, I was like, I still talk to some of my teammates now and was like, if you could handle a she high practice, you could handle any practice. Like, you would run for hours. Like, I was in the best shape of my life, right? And now it's like I really appreciate him because I understand what it actually meant to work.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, other coaches, yeah, we worked, but in terms of getting us ready, conditioning, and all this stuff, because I understand that you have to understand, like, a lot of basketball players could play 3 quarters or 4 quarters or three, maybe 3.5 quarters. Once that 5 minute mark hits, once it's a tie game and you have to really concentrate after you've been playing already 40 minutes or whatever the case is, 35 minutes, your mind goes, and people don't understand that. Your mind did the shots, the same shots that you think you're gonna hit, they're short. Same layups you think the easy ones, you wondering why you're missing them is because you're tired. You understand? Or that free throw, they're free. You understand? And sometimes you come down to the end of the game, you can't hit them. Why? Because you're tired, you're thinking, you're exhausted. Okay, these are things, and
Mentally fatigued. Yeah.
mentally fatigued. So um he really prepared us for that. And just a side note, you know what's funny? After I transferred, the year I transferred, my previous coach at Southwest Baptist got fired.
I knew
Guess
you
who
were gonna say that.
guess who got the job?
No way.
Shi. My coach got that job. The coach that got my coach. So the coach at the NAI school that I played in the last year, the following year, he got that job at the D2. And he was like, "Oh man, I wish I had one more year with you at D2. We would have been something." Da, da, da. He texted me on Twitter the other day and said that. And it's
Yeah.
just, this goes to show, like, he knows what he's talking about, right? And he's there to this day. He knows what he's talking about. Because my homie called me. He's like, "Isn't your coach Shihai? Why is he on an interview? Why is he here? Why is he was in the interview in the office?" I'm like, no way. He said he's gonna be there the next year. Next day we have a meeting. He tells us that he's going to SBU. So this goes to show, like, is this how crazy how the world works, and every dog has his day, right? So
Hey.
even though I have mad respect for my coach that I was with at D2. Um, there was some things that I don't think were handled properly, and it was unfortunate that it had to go like that, but it did, and yeah, the experience was good.
That's that.
Mm-hmm. The experience was
That's
good.
the yeah.
For everything. So
No, that's the name of the game. Sometime now is SBU and John and why am I and John Brown close to each other?
they're about 2 hours away,
Okay.
2 hours away, so they're not too far.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense because I was like, what are the coincidences that happen? So that makes sense. They're in the same state, I'm guessing.
Yeah, or neighboring states. I think we have Missouri and Arkansas. So I don't know how close they are. I haven't looked at the map in a while, but I'm pretty sure they're not.
No, they're pretty close to each other. I went to school in Missouri. Now, with everything being said that you spilled to us today on the show, is there anything you would change about your university career?
Oh yes, if I could listen, I tell these people all the time. I could tell you if I could go back and change one thing, I would not focus on anything else except basketball and my schoolwork, because the schoolwork is why I didn't go to Western Illinois, which was the D1 that I was projected to go to. I was going to go to that school. I had the trial, and they wanted me to come. I failed one English class, and that stopped me from going there. Even if I didn't play, to just have that on my resume that I went D1 and I was able to play against a top competition in the country at the time in terms of, I don't know what you want to call it, amateur sports, whatever the case is. It's good because coming out of NAI school, a lot of people don't really respect. They don't really respect that. I mean, that's what it is. They don't respect. It's not D1. It's not what you see on March Madness. It's not even D2. So people are looking at this thing. They're like, you got NAI your last year. Why did you go there? Why did you go there? Oh, you're. And then they're looking at me as a player. Oh, okay, you're 6'3", maybe 6'4" on a good day. Okay, you're not. You have to be. If you're an NAI player and you're trying to be a pro, they're looking at you. You got to be like outstanding. You have to be killing that league. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not outstanding. Like I think I did pretty well. Okay. But I don't think I'm just like some superstar or something along the lines of people are just gonna take one look at me and be like, oh, he should be playing somewhere, you know? And so then they look at your resume and whatnot, and people have their opinions and doubts about NAIA. And if you don't really know somebody like that, it could really affect your career. So yeah, if I could go, I'm not not to say not to knock NAI or anything like that, sort of along the lines there, but being a Canadian and going NAI, I think there's a different standard that's required, because I have some teammates that work from different countries and whatnot.
Yeah.
They went NAIA because they're more Euro based. They have easier opportunities to play overseas, and that's fine as well. But if I could change it, I would definitely not focus on any of the girls, any of the partying, because that was a big distraction for me at the time. Because before that, I didn't experience anything like that.
Yeah,
it was just thrown at me all at one time. I'm just like, oh, I have so much freedom. I have this, I got that, and it was just thrown at me all after me.
That's real. That's real.
Time. And so at least that experience that I had, I was able to help my younger brother. My younger brother was going through that same thing. He was really sheltered and he wasn't able to experience it that he should have experienced that at a normal age. So I told him, like, hey, this is what you got to do. If you do this, this, and this, you will go D1 and you'll have a better career than I have, most definitely. He listened to what I said and he went D1, no problem, right? That's simply because he had that mentorship. Well, I was telling him before, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
real.
That's what hurt me. That's what hurt me. I'm telling you. But I mean, I had that to an extent, but I mean, I didn't have like I had mentors. That someone who told me to do this and that, which I don't want to say like they didn't try to help me, but it's a different type of understanding for someone that's like in your immediate family, right? Who's actually telling you this and sending you money, making sure that you're doing something, checking you up on a daily daily basis, sometimes even hourly basis, especially depending on my time and whatnot. So it was yeah. So if it comes to what I could change, it would definitely be focusing on the grades and just trying to get in the gym as much as possible. Like I became a gym rat more later in my career. I'm not
Okay,
necessarily a gym rat. I understand what I needed to work on.
I got you.
Right. So once I figured that out, I thought I got better, I would say. Over
Okay,
time.
now throughout your pro basketball career, of course, you met a lot of new faces and a lot of new connections. That's how it goes with the marketing side of things. On the business standpoint, though, have you had any of these connections help you? Whether it had to do with modeling, whether it had to do with outside basketball endeavors, and with basketball, of course.
Oh yeah, so anything like usually it had to do with modeling. People would be basketball did help me in terms of I just did a little thing the other day where they were looking for a basketball player and whatnot, and this came. I'm like, hey, I play basketball, and they just picked me right up. And I did another commercial where I was at a couple years back where I was playing in the Raptor practice center, and I had to do a commercial for insurance company. So basketball, I mean, in the business side of things, does help me, um, especially in terms of my modeling. Like you don't understand, like, there's not a lot of athletes that are able. Not a lot of athletes who are interested in both sides. I like to model, I like to play basketball, right? It's not usually they like to do one or the other. So for someone who's able to interchange it, intertwine and mix that, it really helps on the business side of things, especially athletically. Even if it's not necessarily basketball per se,
Yeah.
they know that I'm athletic. They know I'm active, and they know that I could probably pick up on things really well. So versus if I'm doing boxing, or if I'm doing soccer or football, or something along those lines that require the same intangibles, um, it's good. So yeah, basketball on the business side of things does help me, and yeah, it does push out a lot of other things as well. And people ask me to train them and whatnot and help them out that way. And so there's a lot of different avenues. Yeah.
No, I hear that for sure. Now, thank you for everything. We're gonna move into our last segment right now. I know
Hmm.
you wanted a game. We're gonna make it real quick, okay?
Hmm.
Call it In a Perfect World. I'm gonna put you through a scenario. You're gonna fill in the blanks. Don't mind me and Steven on our phone. We like to bet money on these answers. So
Okay.
we're going. So whatever you answer, no pressure. Don't think about me and Steven. We just like to put money on these answers.
Hmm.
So we're gonna bring you back all the way to high school in this perfect world. And you're doing your fourth year. You did
Hmm.
everything you could do. You get every school in the country you want on the D1 level. Where are you going? Give
For
us a
Marquette.
second to give us a second to answer. Give us a
Okay.
second. Give us a
Okay.
second. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay. Kofi, Gil, I hope you're not a typical guy. Okay, I hope you're not a typical guy. Not to be biased or alter your answers. But where are you going in the NCAA?
Mhm. Where am I going?
Yeah.
I'm going Marquette.
I was
Marquette.
actually thinking that too.
Marquette.
I'm
So you're a
going to Marquette.
You're a
Huh?
Jordan Brand player. You're at Marquette. You're in the Big East. You do what you
Hmm.
got to do. First team all Big East. First team all freshman. Right? You guys get into the NCAA March Madness. You guys make a run. I'm not gonna put where you guys land. All right. But you find yourself in the lottery because you did what you had to do. And you know how the lottery works. You can't pick you can't pick where you want to go. Sorry, just typing in my answer here. You can't pick where you want to go in the NBA, as you know, in the lottery. But due to your verbal, what you say in interviews, you can kind of dictate that. Oh, I like this facility. This coach was good. You can kind of dictate that and fluctuate down the lottery, as you know. Where would you pick to go in the NBA?
Where would I pick? Where would I pick? I haven't really thought about that.
You might be right, Devo.
No, shut up, Steven. Shut up.
But at the time, if I could pick where I want to go, I would probably. There's either two teams right now.
Watch your
Do
game.
I have to pick one?
No, go ahead. You have to pick one in the. It depends on your answer. It depends on your answer.
It's either.
It depends on your answer. We'll precise it. If it's both of our answers, then we will go to the next
Okay,
section.
so if I could pick one right now in today's NBA, if I was allowed to pick right now in today's NBA, I'm going to Utah.
Okay. I can understand that with your game too. I can understand that. So you're in Utah. You're with Jordan Clarkson. You're with Mike Conley. You're with Donovan. Y'all doing what you got to do, right? Now, in this perfect world, you probably won't have all those same players, but you finish your rookie contract. You know, you're doing what you have to do. You're now that franchise player, right? And now you have the luxury. I'm not sure how Utah's luxury tax is. Actually, we haven't had that. We haven't had Utah yet on this show, which I appreciate. But you're at your end of your rookie contract. You, because of the way you are in the NBA and the way you play, you have a time of recruitment to recruit 2 players to your team this off season. Here are the rules. 1 player either has to be a rookie or a sophomore, the first year or second year. The other player has to be 3 years and above. Who are these 2 players that you're picking? We'll give you a second here. And you are on the team. Me and Steven doesn't matter what position you're playing, but you have 2 players that complement your game. I don't want 2 random players that you like to watch. These are complementing your game. You're trying to win a championship.
Okay, so 2 players that complement my game. 2 players that complement my game. 2 players that complement my game. So, okay.
Hold on. Okay. All right, go ahead.
So, the first player that I think the first player that I'm going to take that's up 3 years and above. Because obviously I'm not going to take up someone who's not necessarily a bum, but not someone who's like I'm going to take an all-star at least, right?
2 years and above. Or 2 years and above? Oh, sorry, 3 years and above, you said?
Yeah,
yep.
3 years and above.
Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you want to do. This is your team.
For me, I'll definitely taking Joel Embiid.
I'm liking your answers here.
Joel Embiid simply because he's a versatile big, and I feel like for my game especially, I feel like I'm more of a transition player, and he could definitely start the fast break for me and help me out in the open court. Maybe get a block.
Pick your guy to watch it.
Bam, I'm out there, and then I want to complement my game. I would definitely want 3 years old. 3 years under. For some reason, I don't know if this is a weird answer or not, but someone that I could grow with 3 year and like a rookie and sophomore year, I think I'm going with this is tough. Because
a lot of good guys in the NBA these days.
Yeah, exactly. Because
3 years and below.
I think realistically in the NBA right now, if I was in the NBA at 6'3", 6'4", I would have to play some type of point or combo guard or something along those lines, right? So I will have the ball in my hand a fair amount of time, we would say. So for someone who I think has a lot of potential and really surprised me, I think I don't know if this is weird, but I'm Gary Trent is falling into my mind for something. I don't know why.
I don't know if he qualifies.
It's not 3 years. He said it's 3 years.
It has to be first. It has to be first or second. He's been with Portland for 1, Raptors for 1.
Second is the first.
No, he's been in the league for 3 years because he had 2 playoff runs.
3 years. He doesn't qualify.
Yeah, he doesn't qualify, but I still like that.
Okay.
I still like that a lot.
Okay.
But for the sake,
So since he's not, so somebody else, so not Gary Trent, so someone who is young and who's really going to compliment me. I. Um. I'm trying to think who was in the draft with Lonzo
We
Ball
can't
again?
help you. We can't help you.
LaMelo Ball.
We can't help you.
You can't help me with. You can't help me.
Whoever you want to pick,
How am I
it's only
forgetting this?
fair.
Who did you say? Who did you say though, Gilly? Who did you want to pick?
Yeah.
Well, what was the name you just said?
I just said who was in the draft with LaMelo Ball.
That's who you're locking in with?
For some reason, not coming to me.
Is that who you're
No,
locking in with?
I just said who's in the draft.
Oh.
No, not LaMelo. I don't want LaMelo. I'm just saying who's in the draft with him. That's that. But
yeah. Come on, man. Pick somebody.
Okay. I'll pick somebody. So okay. Actually, I think just to say, yeah, okay, I'm locking in with LaMelo. So if I'm locking in with LaMelo Ball because he's very versatile and he can spot up, he can create, so we could interchange playing off the ball or not. Okay, and he seems unselfish as well. So I don't have to. There's not things I don't have to worry about when it comes to. He's like a army knight, so he could do a lot of things, and I think playing with him, I'm probably more of a scorer all the time because I think if I'm in the NBA, I'm just throwing it out there. I think he's a way better playmaker than I am, and I'll be better playing off the ball than with my ball in my hands with him. So I think I'll go with LaMelo. So I got Joel and LaMelo.
That's our first combination of those two. Appreciate it. Stephen, over to you.
Last question we want to ask you, Gilly. Who's someone you like to see on Talk Your Exposure? But here's the kicker, though. You got to help us get him on the show.
Who would I want to? You already got Din.
No Toben guys.
Huh?
No Toben guys. We have them locked in already. We're good to go with Toben guys.
Oh, so you want someone that you just want me to get on?
Someone that you think would be good on the show. That has a good story and good good story.
A good story. I think and it could be anybody.
Anybody.
I think probably you should get. I think you should get Byron Scott.
The head coach?
No.
Oh,
no, not Byron Scott.
Byron. I know.
Byron. I don't know why I said Byron Scott. Byron.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Big Byron, right? Stretch.
Yep. Byron. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Say no more.
I think he has a good story, and I think growing up he was one of the he was really good. So
he definitely was. He definitely was.
Like one there, he have a good story to tell.
Hey Gilly, where can we find you on social media, man? Where are your social media handles?
So my social media handle, I have my more professional account, Gilbert.Kofi.Gyamfi at obviously on Instagram. Okay, and then I have my more basketball account where it's just mainly basketball. It's what is it? Shoot. I don't even go on it anymore, so I don't remember. But it's so that one is my professional account is Gilbert.Kofi. Gyamfi. And then my other handle is more personal. It's Kofi_Jam, so GYAM 19. So those are my two handles down in the social media. And then I have my Facebook, Gilly Gyamfi, and same thing. I have Gilbert Gyamfi on LinkedIn as well. So yeah, those are my handles. Those are the ones I use more times than not. And I think I have also have Twitter as well. I'm not on that as much. But I think it's same thing, Gilbert Gyamfi. So that's what you're gonna find if you're looking for me.
And that's a wrap on another edition of the Toben Podcast. Make sure you guys go and hit that subscribe button on Talk Your Exposure on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. If you want to check us out on YouTube and actually see our faces, hit us up on RWI Basketball on YouTube. Subscribe. Turn on your notifications for that one as well. Same with all your podcast links too. And on top of that, if you were really feeling this episode of this series, you're feeling Tucker Exposure, you're feeling the Toben Podcast, give us a donation. Subscribe to us for only $5 a month or $10 a month. It's very cheap, very, very, very cheap, but you'll get great content from Devontae and myself and all the fellow guests that we have on Talker Exposure or the Toben Series Podcast. With that being said, Gilly, we thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be able to see you back on the court soon. And stay safe. Nothing but the best moving forward and down the line.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, guys.
Take care.